And when I go to think about taking action around it, like maybe I'll create a graphic, because that's how I get into the vibe of things, right? Is let me create a graphic, because I'm very visual. I like seeing things and colors. And then it starts to feel like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Or this feels really unclear right now. It feels very muddy for me right now. The details aren't dropping in yet. Why would I go through and take more action from that place of it feels muddy, it feels unclear? Why would I take more action from that place? I have two choices at that point. I can either push through, force myself to push through, like I've done 100 fucking times in my life and in my business, right? I've done that 100 times where I've forced myself to push through and ultimately not have the result I'm looking for, or have a smaller scale of a result. Or I can stop right there and say, energetically, that's not feeling right now. What would feel really good to do? Moving into what feels really good to do. And then before you know it, the details are dropping in like this, right? You make the graphic in 15, 20 minutes. You blah, blah, blah. You have everything done for it, right? You're ready to launch it. You know, you have clarity because you didn't rush that process. And there's again, fine balance between that and procrastination, right? So many of us are afraid of going into procrastination. So because we're afraid of going into procrastination, we force ourselves to push through because we have stories around you're lazy, you're a procrastinator, you're waiting too long, you could have been taking more action by now, you're not as far along as you should be. All of these stories come up, and a lot of times these are playing out from when we were in school, when we were in college, in our workplaces that we've had, when we were children. All of these kind of stories bundled up that are like snowballing and manifesting into our present day reality. But those are your two options. You can push forward with misaligned energy, or you can take a step back and do something that feels fun. The best advice I ever got from a coach was just go do what you want. Do something that feels fun. And it was like mind blowing. It's like you think someone gave me $1 million. Like, oh, I can do what feels fun and make money from that place, right? So just to give you an example of that, basically. So when you're feeling like your business isn't predictable, no one's business is predictable, right? I mean, we can predict to a certain degree, but the world is unpredictable. That's just how the life is, right? Unpredictable. So there's always going to be a degree of uncertainty. And even if you have a job, right? Even having a job is uncertain. It's not 100% certain that that's going to be a guaranteed paycheck. So it's natural that your business is going to feel unpredictable because by nature it is unpredictable, right? But this belief that my actions don't matter, my action isn't predictable, my actions aren't effective. When I do something in my business, it doesn't have a direct result, to the results that I'm looking for. That feels powerless. That feels disempowering. That feels like a contraction. And so if you're finding yourself in that space where you're perpetually setting goals and not meeting them, and most of the time those are going to be financial goals, you perpetually set a goal, let's say $10,000 in your business per month, and you're not meeting it, then it's important to think about, well, now you're feeling powerless to the goal, you're feeling disappointed that you didn't meet the goal. What is another, maybe a non-numeric goal that you could implement in your business, right? What's a non-numeric goal that feels really good? Dropping the perspective of money being the main metric for success in a business. It sounds easier said than done, obviously, because we got bills to pay, we got mouths to feed, right? Like it's not, I'm not sitting here saying like money isn't important or you shouldn't care about money in your business, because that would be completely like hypocritical to everything I talk about. Like you should care about money. You should care about getting a lot of money, in my opinion, obtaining as much money as possible in your life. But sometimes it's healthy to set other types of goals, right? Sometimes it's good to set a different type of goal, like something like the amount of people you're helping, or even like the amount of people you're bringing into your world. Or maybe you should set a goal around how much you can stay in alignment every day, how much you can stay in a really fun, playful, high vibe place every day, because that is an absolute realistic goal for you to set for your business. And just like we were talking about on the last call, it's more of a discipline of the energy rather than a discipline of the action. Discipline of action looks like getting up and running, 5 miles in the morning and eating an egg white omelet and waking up at 5 in the morning and making your bed and like all that kind of stuff, right? That people, has a successful way to start your day, or taking a cold bath, or whatever the fuck people say you need to do to be successful, right? But in reality, those people are doing those things because it ultimately provides them with a feeling of alignment, provides them with an early feeling of accomplishment early in the day. So this is another thing that's not so much like, well, it is an energetic thing, but it's not so much like, ooh, this is so like groundbreaking that I'm saying this. This is like psychic knowledge. It's more just like realistic knowledge that if you're waking up and you're not feeling like accomplished early in the day, it's going to be so much harder to maintain that vibration throughout the day. So if you're waking up and you're immediately looking at your phone and seeing other people that are doing better than you, and you feel those seeds of, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not rich enough, all that kind of stuff, and then you go about your day, it's going to be so much more difficult for you to achieve the energetic vibration of I am successful, I am enough, I am pretty, all of those things, right? So starting off your day with small wins, like making your bed, I think that's why people say that, is because you've started your day by accomplishing something. You did something and it looks better. It looks better than having just your blankets everywhere and all that kind of stuff, right? So doing something early in the morning that gives you that feeling of accomplishment, and then maintaining that alignment. And that's not always possible every single day, right? Maybe we cleaned the whole house the night before and there's nothing small that can make us feel really good. But I found that a lot of my most powerful content, I just write on a whim right after I'm done journaling for the day, because I journal every morning. And that's a goal that for a long time felt really obligatory for me to meet. And now it feels so natural for me to meet that goal of journaling every morning, right? And it's not something that I'm like, I need to be doing this. I need to be journaling every day. I need to be journaling every day like it used to, because when I used to do that, I thought I had to write affirmations and I thought I had to do all of these things and make all these rules around journaling rather than just writing about my life and writing about something that feels fun. So it's both, right? It's a discipline of an action, but it's also, I'm disciplined in the action of journaling every day because I know that that's important for my energy.